I remember this kid, Randy, was rhyming in the hall. And I was like, yo, you want to battle? He said, okay, there's one more period before lunch. You write your verse, I'll write mine.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where it started. Like, I wrote the disc. That whole period, I'm going to finish this. I finished, he's done. And if that didn't happen, I might not be sitting. I might not have a career. You know what I'm saying?
That was your first battle?
Yeah.
And you won it?
Of course.
Yeah. What's up, everybody? I'm Reggie Williams, founder and CEO of Ambrosia for Heads, and welcome to our show, On the Record, where we do a deep dive with artists about their new music. Today, I have the pleasure of sitting with a man who's a true steward of independent hip-hop. He has worked with artists like Method Man, Madlib, MF Doom, Black Thought. The list goes on. He is one of the most consistent MCs in the game, having released 24 projects in the last 12 years.
Is it that much?
24, bro. I counted today. There's probably some missing. You know how Wikipedia is.
Probably.
And he is, without a doubt, one of the last in a true long list of great New York lyricists. Welcome, your Old Droog.
Thank you, sir. Peace.
Peace, man. Thank you for coming out, man. I know you don't do a lot of these.
Nah.
You know?
Well, you know, it's about time, man, to sit down in a formal capacity. I always see you like in the city or something, like random places.
Yep. I think we met for the first time in Brooklyn outside of a pizza joint.
Yeah. Was that the first time?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
At the Atmosphere show, like a couple.
Oh, yeah. Brooklyn Still. Yeah, I remember that.
That's right. Yeah. So, no, but great to have you, man. Projects, you got 2 joints that dropped end of last year. Anything is possible.
Yes, sir.
And YOD Serling.
Very proud of those projects.
Yep.
And it's something that kind of came out of necessity. You talking about being independent. You know, you can't be quiet for too long. So,
you
know, always keep some music in the stash. And I had to package it a certain way and go to my mom's baby picture stash, sometimes because the artwork that I was working on, didn't work out. So, it happened.
So I want to get into those, man. But first, I meant that when I said you're one of the last in a long list of great New York lyricists. A lot of people think lyricism is packing as many words as possible into a bar, but I think it's deeper than that for you. So what's a great lyricist?
I think it's about saying something.
Okay.
Anybody could sit here and string syllables together and be the most lyrical, and that doesn't always translate to something you want to hear or great music. So for me, I think it's about saying something and leaving the listener with some game or a life lesson. It doesn't have to be a life lesson. It could just sound good, But I think it's a certain art to putting words together in a unique way, and that's what I think like lyricism is. But at the same time, I'd rather listen to somebody that's saying something than somebody just being lyrical for lyrical's sake.
I notice you don't over-explain in your songs either. Is that an artistic choice, a personality trait, both?
What you mean, like over-explain?
A lot of people like beat you on the head with it, but you'll say it and like just leave it, and it's up to them to kind of get it.
I think like there's effort that goes into being effortless too. Like that's that practice. Like Steph Curry putting up 1,000 shots. It looks like he's just doing it, reflex, muscle memory, but that's something he practiced. That's that Kobe Bryant type thing. So I try to keep it moving, keep it pushing. I don't want to get stuck on one trope or one line or, sometimes you got things like refrains, they come back in the music and that's good too, but I don't like to get stuck. You know what I mean?
So, Bo, Anything is Possible and YOD Serling are 5 songs, less than 20 minutes each. Why did you decide to make these projects shorter?
I think it's a natural response to the streaming era. In 2022, I did 6 projects, 7 songs each. And I would look at the numbers. Usually after like track 4 or 5, the numbers go down. And I hate to make release music with that in mind, but I got to be cognizant of that because I'm an artist and a businessman too. But unless you playlist one of those records that are later in the sequence, the numbers go down. So I was like, the attention span got to be even worse. 3 years went by. I'm like, let's make it 5 records. You know what I'm saying? And I see it even with YOD Serling. Like when you put a lot of stuff out, like they still catching up to the first thing. So they don't. They might be like, oh, another project. They think you talking about the one that came out last month. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. You know, in a world where people are listening to music mostly by playlists now, what do you think the purpose is for an album?
Wow. I think you have to tell a story, I think, with an album. And I don't mean like something like, you know, like a fictional tale, whatever, but I feel like a full thought has to be expressed, like why you made this record. You know what I mean? And I think it's not just nostalgic for us who grew up, you know, with albums and we had them for like 2 years and we lived with them and listened every day, or like your mom would only buy you 2 albums or something like that, and you play them in your CD player or Walkman. So I think it's a lost art. You know what I mean? It's when I'm in that mode, I'm not thinking about streaming. I'm just creating like a full thought. You know what I'm saying?
I don't think albums are for every artist, right? Like there's a lot of people who are great at making a record and a collection of records, but they can't put together a cohesive body of work.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, no, I'm not.
Some of my favorite rappers, like dope, featured.
Yep.
You know, every time they spit a bar, flawless.
Yeah.
Do I want to listen to an album from them? Probably not.
Yeah.
But that's also the times, because, you know, you had like the mixtape era. Dudes were giving their energy to something that probably wasn't conducive to like album making. Or when they made albums, it was like real formulaic, like girl record, club record.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Pop star on the hook. You know what I'm saying? That type of shit. So.
Yeah, a lot of my favorite artists don't have classic albums. You know
Right.
what I mean? But they got great records, you know?
Yeah. You want to drop some names? No.
Yeah.
Somebody
I
on
thought about
blast?
that. I was like, should I put that out there?
I thought about it too, but I mean, like,
yeah.
yeah, you got greats, man. Like Jada Kiss, one of the best.
Yep.
Like,
Yeah.
but there's not like one particular album that I'm like, you know what I mean? But top 15, top 20, arguably, you know, as far as just rhyming.
Yep. Yep. What would you say is your most complete album?
I think Movie. I mean, that's the first one that had like a real budget. It got done before the budget came into the picture, but I was working as if it was like this ultimate statement. You know what I'm saying? But it's hard to say. I feel like you could view somebody's entire discography as one album too. So like from the first bar I spit to the most recent one on YOD Serling, that could be construed as like, yo, this is your whole body of work is one album too.
So a part of the progression,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. Especially when you're as consistent as you. I mean, you seem surprised by the number 24, right?
Nah, I feel like I should have more.
Oh,
to
yeah?
be honest with you.
Yeah.
I feel like I was, you know, there was some years where I was like, I want to say dormant, but I was dealing with like business stuff, and I feel like, can I release stuff right now?
Yeah.
Like, am I
Yeah.
gonna violate something? So like, I feel like I could have dropped more. I feel like I held back,
Yeah.
and I don't think I do like I feel like I do a decent amount of. I don't think I know cats who drop like 100 albums.
Yeah.
Shout out to Pharoahe.
Currency, yeah.
Yeah,
exactly.
Currency, Gucci. And there's an art to that too.
Yeah.
Man, you know, shout out to Currency too.
Yeah, I saw gaps in like 2023 for you, maybe like 2017 to 2019, something like that.
Yeah, I mean, Movie was done in 2023.
Okay.
And it was just the business stuff. We were like hashing out things and trying to get this deal done, and that would take months, and then it finally gets done, and they're like, we don't want to drop in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, we were talking about that before we started recording. Like, how do you navigate when you got something ready? Like, you loaded, but like you can't drop it.
I feel like you have to put yourself in a position where you can't drop, where you're not constrained and people are not holding you back, because like, listen, man, the fans don't care if, you know, you got a bag or this label's in you. They just want the product, you know, or like the art, however you choose to phrase it. But to be honest, you have to keep feeding the fans. They'll forget about you. I mean, some artists could be quiet for a while and come back. And I've been fortunate. I thought I was quiet for a while, and then I dropped the project, and I'm like, damn, I can't believe like the reception. It's like they didn't forget about me. But they will forget about you. Like, everybody's not Kendrick. You know what I'm saying? You can't take 5 years off and like, hey guys, like, shit done changed. Like,
Yeah.
5 years is like 10 years in this day and age.
I was asking, I asked Jay-Z once how much he thought that being independent contributed to him reaching the levels that he reached. and he said it was everything. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it sounds like for you, having that level of control is important too. So would you rather be fully independent, like be able to do one-offs and move how you want to move, like what or be
That's
signed?
what I do.
Like,
Yeah. I never signed like a multiple album thing. Even with like, I've done a lot of albums with Nature Sounds indie label. Everything was like, okay, one off. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think I've done deals for multiple albums at once, and then I just turn them in, and then I'm film my So, but I think what was the question?
How important it is for you to be independent?
It's
if
everything.
That's your preference.
No, I think it's everything, but it wasn't always like that. At first, like for me, I start out, I don't understand the business, so I'm trying to learn it. I see rappers, they make waves, they get a buzz, and they sign a deal, they on. That's how I thought it worked. So when I'm meeting with, 300 or Empire, Shady, and all these Def Jam, I'm like, okay, I have an opportunity to sign with a major, and I guess this will be my path. And when that didn't happen, just kept putting records out independently, and it actually worked out for me. And like, I don't have to answer to a bunch of people. I don't do well with authority anyway. So, and I like the feeling of just like pushing the button myself, not literally, but just like, yo, I press that button and the consumer gets it immediately. I like that feeling. It's like, I feel like there's a purity to that. It's not tainted. Sometimes you have all these hands in the pot and people in the kitchen, it fucks up like that transaction.
I think there's a zeitgeist thing too, right? I mean, obviously there's a lot of music that's timeless, but sometimes people want to feel the energy that's going on right now. I think we can all kind of sense that. And it's more than just the music, it's the lyrics and everything combined, so being able to do it just right when you want to, I think is important.
I think you'd be surprised, like, I saw Westside Gun a couple months back, and like, he got this thing, he'll record something on like Monday or Tuesday, it comes out. Like, there's something to that, like, it's still hot. I had these amazing records that I had in the stash, and I'm like, nah, let's save that for the album. And then they end up coming out 2-3 years. They still resonate, but it's not the same. You know what I mean? I might have moved past that creatively, and sometimes like, yo, knock a verse out, put it out. They're getting stuff that was like recorded last week. Like, there's a rawness to that. Everybody can't do it though.
Now, Game put out a record about a month ago, I think, with DJ Drama, and he had a reference to Quarter Zips and Matcha, right? That's not going to have the same like effect 6 months from now, a year from now, as it did then, So
I try to make my lyrics timeless anyway, so they're not like time stamped. That was my issue with some of the mixtape stuff, like Joe Budden. Like, he would have like the sports references, and in that moment they would go hard. Like, he had the Cowboys don't need you, you Bill Parcells.
Right, yeah.
But it's like a year from that, like, it's like watching a rerun of a Sports Center episode. It's
like, So I want to get into the lyrics, man. One of my favorite things to do is to talk to artists, especially when they really are talking about something. And
absolutely.
You definitely are. One of the things is that I noticed about you is you can say so much with just one line. There's just a few artists like that. Evidence is one. Just one line will just have you just thinking for a minute, right? So I want to go through some of the lines you got, starting with Game 7, first song on Anything Is Possible. So you said, since Doom passed, YOD the most villainous, but back in 06, I ain't know who Jay Dilla is.
Yeah.
So what qualities would you say you share with Doom?
I think being a private person, not really into the fame, because when I first put music out, there was no videos. They didn't know what I looked like. And I thought, wow, yes, they can finally listen, digest the lyrics, and focus on that and the beats. That didn't happen. Their minds went
crazy.
Yeah, but I'm telling you, my intent was they're going to focus on what I'm saying. It doesn't matter where this guy's from, what he looks like, any of that. So I relate to Doom as far as that. first thing actually is just rhyming well, rhyming at a high level. I feel like Doom is one of those guys who, he's a producer. He crafted albums, but I don't think he gets enough credit for his pen and just really rhyming to the letter. So I think those things, the attention to the craft, and just also being like, yo, I'm not here for like the hoopla. So I relate to that. But also in the grand scheme of things, it showed me that you don't have to follow a traditional path, like the major label path. You know what I mean? That might not be for everybody. And I think Doom showed that.
Yeah.
Obviously, he had the mask, but for me, my face is the mask.
Yeah.
So, I don't.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, man. Doom he called himself a villain, right? But to the fans, he was a superhero. He was a villain to the system. You know what I mean? I kind of get that same vibe from you.
Yeah, I mean, the industry is can be a scary place. And he had an experience early on. Like, he had a record deal when he was 18 or 19 with the,
Sub-Rock, KMD.
KMD and the record with Third Base, Gas Face. So he had a taste of fame and all of that, and I'm sure like how it could backfire on you. And I experienced that as well. So it's like in a different way, but I relate to that. It's also just like, man, y'all don't know me, man. Just consume the work or don't listen to somebody else. Like, So
you said you didn't know who J Dilla was till 06.
I didn't know in 06 who J Dilla. I learned, I think, a few years after that. Actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what drew you to underground hip hop and why?
I heard Doom for the first time. I came up on like DJ Clue tapes or listening to the radio and K Slade Drama Hour and Smack DVDs and just what was on TV like 106 in Park and stuff like that. So when I heard Doom for the first, I was like, what is this? You know what I mean? So I did my research. I'm like, okay, this is Madlib. And then once you learn about people in that world, J Dilla is like a real prominent person. So when I heard his beat, I was like, I might have heard J Dilla beats. I didn't know he made them. But this whole world that's not mainstream, I don't even want to call it underground, I'll just say it's raw.
Yeah.
I gravitated towards that. I'm like, yo, I like this. You know what I mean? Like everything doesn't have to be like in a pretty polished package. So I appreciated that. A lot of that some of that stuff sounded was distorted and, maybe not mixed perfectly, but you felt it hit you in the heart. And that's what I like.
So like you said, 106 wasn't playing. I used to work at BET with 106, so I know you weren't getting that on 106, right? So where did you go? Once you caught that bug, where did you go to find that music?
I feel like this was the advent of like YouTube. So like you could type anything into YouTube, but also for Doom, when I first heard of Doom was 2007.
Okay.
So I went on like the iPod.
Okay.
So I went illegally downloaded a lot of music.
Yeah, whatever.
And I remember Food, Madville. I just threw all of that on the iPad.
Yeah.
So I'll be going to like Kingsborough Community College listening instead of going to class. I'm listening to. I'm like, oh, what is this?
Yeah.
I'm listening to like One Beer, produced by Madlib. I'm like, this shit is crazy. Like,
yeah.
I'm like pacing in circles. I can't believe like somebody's rhyming like this.
Yeah.
And more people don't know about it.
Yep.
Now I wasn't in those circles where like Adult Swim or or like maybe the skater kids downtown knew about doing like Supreme.
Yep.
I wasn't part of that world.
Yeah.
This was just me hearing the dude rhyme, thinking he's nice, and doing more research.
Right. Got you.
So that's when I kind of got hit to this.
So who would you say are your 5 favorite underground or raw rappers?
You talking about like cats that are not like
on the radio, not like super high sellers, just but they got that reputation and that fan base.
Okay. I think Doom, for a multitude of reasons. I think like he created his own world, and came up it was like the late '90s, that Bobito era, but it transcended that.
Yeah,
I'm sure a lot of those kids who heard him in 2005, they didn't know about Fondling Records and none of that. So I think Doom for sure. Throw Rock Marcy in there. I think. he came out at a time where it wasn't a lot of stuff going on, like that sounded like what he was doing and kind of stuck to his sound, and it works for him. Sean Price, for sure. I think, yeah, Sean and Doom were those two like artists that I was listening, like the raw MCs that I was listening to. And I was like, man, like, and I didn't even associate Sean P with rock. I thought it was like a different dude.
Yeah.
But I'm like, this, you're not hearing this on the radio.
Yeah, a completely different career. Yeah.
So I think Sean, Doom, Rock. I gotta give a shout out to Kai. You know, he passed, but I feel like he did. Like, it wasn't a career for him. You know what I mean? So to have like a life outside of music and still do it, that's very like you know, commendable. It's
for
just
the love.
Just
for the love.
For real.
Yeah.
And I think it's that energy, man. And I throw Gun in there. I don't know, but he's a little more like, you know, mainstream now, or like perceived that way.
It brick by brick.
But I feel like the vision, like he's the one who brought that vision. He's Popovich, so all these artists that came up under him, like they wouldn't have come out without him. So I think it ain't always about like stringing words together. And he's nice too. He gets busy, but I think he was consistent and he broke through. You know, so. But I'm sure I'm forgetting somebody. There's, you know,
it's a dope list. It's your favorite,
yeah.
Now, you know, but
broad
yeah,
MCs. But
yeah,
I might be forgetting a few.
it's all good.
Yeah.
You know, so another line you got is, most critics don't know what skill is. Couldn't tell you the difference between Kendrick and Lil Twist.
Yes.
So I had a debate, man. I'll confess. I'll be having debates with ChatGPT. You know what
Okay.
I mean? Like,
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
yeah, I mean, so I was talking about the role of critics, you know, and you know, in this world where you can go direct to fans, you got algorithms. You think we're in a post-critic world?
I think we everybody is a critic world. I feel like everybody's an A&R. You drop a record, they're like, how much did he sell? It's like all these things where it's like, yo, he sold 50,000, he flopped. Like, in what world is that a flop?
Right,
you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's like, and everybody's an artist, and like I might see a dude hating, and I look at his page, he got a Bandcamp with like 3 shitty beat tapes. So it's like they feel like they should be in your position. I feel like there was always a sense of like, yo, let's tear our heroes down. Like, I don't know, something about like the human psyche. Like they want to tear people down. Now they won't even let you get in that position before they tear you down. They're tearing you down. Why? You know. So it's a crazy time we're living. I think everybody's a critic, but as far as like real critics, like I don't think we have that. Like the original Source magazine, and you had these guys who were credible. You had your like Harry Allens. I don't think those folks exist. I mean, shout out to Harry. He's probably, I don't know if he's writing about rap records right now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That's crazy, your knowledge, man. Like, your knowledge goes so beyond, like, when you were even, like, of age, you know what I mean? Like, you were a true student of this, you know?
I got to give credit to Sacha Jenkins, who discovered me and gave me the name Droog. So to have somebody like that in my ear telling me I'm the greatest when I'm, like, 19, I realized in that moment, I'm like, he's right, but I don't know. I haven't done enough. I haven't released a project. But to have that and to be able to go back and look at like some of the ego trip rap lists and learn and soak up all this stuff and just ask him about stuff.
He's
like,
an encyclopedia.
priceless.
Shout out to Sacha. He's a good dude. I really like
For
Sacha,
sure.
man. You know, you touched on this, but I wanna dive into it. You know, I've been on journeys with, you know, I was telling you before that I worked with Kendrick in the earliest days, right? And I saw him go from like this kind of like underground, like indie darling to like super well respected and successful, but not crazy, to, you know, Super Bowl, right? And it's wild to watch because in my opinion, he didn't change the way he wrote. He didn't change like his approach or anything. He didn't sell out or anything.
Right.
But it went from love to like hate, you know? So why do you think it is that people hate when people get too successful?
I think, you got to acknowledge that rap battles are polarizing. You got like an entire other side that's going to, you know, kind of be against you.
I was seeing it even before that, though. You know? Like,
I think that's just a natural reaction to somebody being at the top. you're pulling them down. You know what I'm saying? Like somebody's beneath you, you're not pulling them down.
Yeah.
You be kicking down. You know what I mean? Punching down. So I think that's just, like I said, how human psychology is. If somebody, we gotta find flaws in them. Like he can't be up there for too long.
Yeah.
But I think that's a guy who's deserving of that, and he worked for it. It's not like it was given to him.
Yeah.
So like I watched, like you said, I wasn't like super early. I might have heard like a few songs like before Section 80. I was like, okay, Deuce Dice.
Yeah.
You know, Good Kid, Mad City. I'm like, oh wow, like I feel like that reintroduced like the value of an album. You know, post Dat Piff mixtape. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So I acknowledged it then. I was like, oh, this dude is special. Like this is like, and people throwing the word classic around. I was like, it is a classic.
Yeah.
So, and then like To Pimp a Butterfly, I was like, yo, I don't know if people are ready for this, but as soon as I heard like the jazz stuff, I was like, oh, this is crazy.
Yeah.
But I remember people, you know, I was in the tour van. Some people shout Remain English, like, yo, that shit is garbage.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
And that ended up being his most celebrated record. But I think, people want to tear it down, but he's one of those artists, he got the critical love.
Yeah.
He got the acclaim. So there's an art to that. You have to make yourself susceptible to praise. Like he got that humility, the way he carries himself.
Yep.
If he was an asshole, he was like, yo, fuck y'all, not shaking hands, he wouldn't have had that.
He's still the same dude. Yeah.
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 So I think there's an art to that. And maybe I didn't play that game like, I get love, but I'm not like, you know what I'm saying, 4.99 on Metacritic or whatever the fuck it is. You know what I'm saying? It's like, because I don't care about that. You know what I'm saying? But to me, if you compare it to sports, if somebody's in the league for like 10, 15 years and averaging over 20, that's a solid ass career.
They're winning.
You know what I'm
Hall
saying?
of Fame. That's Hall
like,
of Fame.
I dropped music in 2014. It's 2026.
Yep.
If you compare it to like the 80s, who came out in 84 that you cared about in 86, aside from like LL?
Yeah.
Or
that's it.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So, and I know the times are different, but like even if you don't like me, you're talking about me 12 years after I released my first song. So
which is dope.
You should probably study what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And, pick up a few pointers.
Yeah. You know, so one of those guys I thought you were gonna name in your list of 5 was Count Bass D, because that dude is crazy, and you know he's on your album, or your EP. He's on Confetti. How did you get?
I throw him in there.
He's so under-recognized, man. He's one of my favorites too. How did you get him involved with the project?
I think we connected a few years back, and we discussed doing a project.
Okay.
And
like
I think it's
a whole joint together.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So we got some joints, and that's just another guy I never heard of. I heard of him through MF Doom. So I think it's a certain frequency that we live by and you know, create art. I think Doom had it. Count Bass D got it. Droog got it. You know, certain cats got, even like Pete Rock, like cats got that gene, you know, and Madlib for sure.
Yeah. So, you know, one of the lyrics in Confetti is, sometimes the universe won't let you win when you got snakes in your circle.
Very true.
That was a heavy bar for me, you know. So can you talk a bit about the importance of who you keep in your circle, both good and bad? Yeah,
I think this applies to people not just in the music industry or business. Like, you might have a friend group, and like you think like, yo, this is my God, or this is my girl, like, but this person is envious of you, and they secretly hate you. And you have that person so close, like, you can't help but to exchange energy and then rubbing off on you. And it's like, sometimes you find out too late. The quicker you learn that and you could eradicate and get them out the circle, the better. Because, you know, I've been there before music. And in music where you, yo, this is my homie, like, you find out, you know, they being funny with money, or, you know what I'm saying, or they won't pay you something they owe you, or they're going behind your back and talking shit. So we deal with enough of that from the outside. Why would I have that in my inner circle? So, and sometimes it's like that in sports too. Like, you won't win a ring until this fucking dude, I don't care if he's on the bench, because he might be bad luck. You know what I'm saying? Get him out of here. You know what I'm saying? Like, I remember when the Mavs won the championship, they got Tyson Chandler. You know what I'm saying? I feel like he changed shit in that team. before you had like Eric Dampier, like serviceable, but like you weren't winning a ring with Eric Dampier as your center.
Yeah.
So sometimes, and it's not personal. It's just like, yo, I got to get you up out of here. Bro.
Yeah.
I might even love you as a person, but like, yo, you got to go because I'm trying to win.
It goes the other direction too, though, right? Because like you mentioned Sacha, like having him in your circle was a game changer for you. You know?
But I mean, he wasn't like necessarily part of the team. Like he never earned $1 from your Old Droog. He was just like, yo, you're amazing. I'm gonna fucking share the insight that I have because I've been writing about music. Or I've been, doing what I do for 20 plus years. And it helped, and he introduced me to a lot of people. Some good, some bad, you know what I'm saying? But that's life, and you don't really know people until like you deep into like a business relation, you know what I'm saying? Or like you got a contract with somebody, you gonna really find out who that person is. You know what I'm saying? So and I say you don't really know who somebody is until like crisis happens. Like who are they under pressure? Like how do they act? You know what I'm saying? Some people fold, some people stay calm. Some people like throw you under the bus. And I'm still here, man, still flourishing, prospering off unapologetic raw music. Like I don't know if this is what the people want. This is what I want, and I'm gonna put it out and share it. If y'all like it, great. If not, you got all these other guys you can listen to.
Still successful, and that's another line that spoke to me, man. You said success is the only thing that makes being misunderstood worthwhile.
Oh, by far.
That was crazy, So, Billboard put out that statement last, like 3 months or so ago, saying that it was the first time since 1990 that there hadn't been a rap song in the top 40, right? And obviously there was controversy around it. My man Rob Markman did a great breakdown on it, but does chart success have any like relevance to you? Is it even something in your thought process?
Excuse me. I think once I get on the charts, I'll probably care about it. Only in a way where it's like competitive, let's get it. Like, all right, I'm on the charts. Let's see how far I could go in that sense. But I think you could be successful without those metrics. You know what I mean? I'm living proof of that.
Yeah.
And I think whose idea of success are you living by? Is it the masses? Yeah. Are you trying to please DJ Academics or Rob Moore or whoever? Yeah. So it's like there's different definitions of success. Everybody, it's like what makes
what's yours? Yeah. What's yours?
I think doing what I want and not having a regular job. I haven't had that in like 15 years. So it's like. I was thinking about that if I could go back and tell like a younger version of me, like, yo, you work with all these people you idolize, and Prodigy was trying to sign you, and Sean P is your fan, and Doom showed you, Doom introduced Madlib to your music. I would have been like, yo, that's crazy. Like, I want to see this. I want to hear this. So I'm living it now, and I love it. You know what I mean? But there's always more to achieve, more to strive for. That's what keeps you going. So I want to see if we could get on the charts. Let's make something happen. Yeah.
You said Prodigy was trying to sign you. What happened with that?
He was one of the first ones to reach out. He wanted to sign me to Infamous Records. Okay. But it was a horrible deal. Okay. It was like $5,000 for like multiple albums. That's like I was conflicted because I love P. It's like this is not what I want to do. Yeah. And I remember. He was upset that I rapped on the Mac Miller beat. He was like, man, it's like I had a different vision for how your career would. I wish I kept the text. It was like this, like this long. I was like, I can't believe Prodigy
actually typed this out, right?
Yeah. It was like, green bubbles. It was like big ass text, green bubbles. Yeah. But I was like, damn, yo, he cares. You know what I'm saying? And I remember like Prodigy wasn't really messing with a lot of rappers. Like. Yeah. He was shitting on cats. Like that one video, he's like, oh, these dudes is trash. Yeah. So I think Prodigy's one of the most important authors, lyricists, people to say a word on a microphone in hip hop history. So just to have that was like the reassurance. Oh shit, like you put out music in a month, like one of your favorite rappers cares about your career. And then after that, when the Nutty Bars video dropped, he called me. And he acted like all that other shit didn't happen. He was like, yo, my man, like, yo.
That's the way it goes, right?
Yeah, that's the game for you.
So the other part of that bar is you talking about being misunderstood. How are you misunderstood?
Okay. I mean, I think you saw it from the beginning, like with people like, oh, is he trying to sound like Nas? Is he
Nas?
Is he Nas? It got really crazy. So I had to like become comfortable with being misunderstood too, because it's like, imagine living a life where you just trying to correct people's wrong opinions about you. Yeah. Like imagine Jay-Z woke up every day and was like, no, this didn't happen, or
that's a hard
Diddy
life.
was just an industry. He's not really my friend, guys. Like, or just whatever. Like, who does that? Yeah. So that could be your whole day. So I can't concern myself with, And plus, I heard like Francis Ford Coppola had a good quote. It was like, he wanted to do something in a movie, and people were laughing at him, and years later, it was
like Apocalypse Now. Or something like that.
I don't remember, but it was like. He was like, yo, people were making fun of him. They were like, yo, he's finished. Or even like classical composers like Igor Stravinsky, like when they first performed the Rite of Spring, like they had riots. They're like, oh, the same, but he's one of the greatest composers. So in that moment, people might not get it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. The thing about hip hop history and like what makes these nerds like, write books about the shit and they're like real like, diligent. The past is the past. You can study it. It already happened. You be like, yeah, Slick Rick, yeah, he's great. But as when it's happening, like everybody doesn't have that foresight. Right. So they, you might have like people shitting on you. Yeah. So you got to deal with that. It's like they just might have heard the wrong song or like heard the wrong, somebody else talking bad about you, and they don't give you a chance for that reason. So I guess I'm misunderstood. Some people think I sound like Nas. Yeah. Like. Yeah. That's like somebody lives their life thinking like, right, or he's trying to be Nas or something like that.
Nothing you can do to change it.
Yeah, and it's like, it's really me, guys. Like, what I'm gonna do? Like,
exactly.
And I feel like I wasted a lot of some energy in the beginning of my career to that, just because that's what it was. Like,
you didn't come. I mean, I remember that hype went on for several weeks, right? Like it wasn't just like a couple of days. So. Was there any point where you want to just come out and be like, yo, here I am?
I think, there was like, there was the thought to tweet, not Nas, or I'm not, something like that. Yeah. But I was like, that's kind of corny. You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't start these rumors.
Right, I don't need
they're persistent outside of my control. So what I did was work on my concert set and perform at Webster Hall. And
which I saw. I was there,
Y'all were early.
The video.
So, you know what I mean? Sold out, covered in the New York Times. It had a great show. That's the first time I ever performed on the stage.
Which is crazy. Yeah.
So, and I'm sure there was people, like, I felt the energy, like, it was hot. Like, as soon as I got on stage, it was hot. Like, I felt like all the cameras and people judging. Like, I'm not used to that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, and there's like they want you to fail. And I didn't fuck up. That's what I stand on. It's like, I held it down, like, in the face of all this, like, bizarre speculation and for 25 years old, like to go out there and put it down. And,
So what's a misconception that you find funny, not annoying?
Oh, there's certain things like that's just out of your control. You know what I'm saying? Like people have assumptions based on your background or, you know what I mean? Or I can't control, you know what I mean? If you don't like somebody with my complexion, I can't change it, man. So I'm like, if you're anti-Semitic, like that's you, bro. Like I'm not gonna be out here like, oh, some of us are great people. And like, what the fuck? Like, let everybody have their misconceptions. Like, let them think what they want. Yeah, I live my life according to my values and the people, that are close to me. So.
So we were talking about some music before we started, but who are 3 artists that you listen to that would surprise people?
Let me pull my phone out. Yeah. Nah, I mean, it was like 4 a.m. I listened to Rolling and Tumbling by Muddy Waters. Okay. But I feel like blues is like a really underappreciated genre. I was glad when, Sinners came out and they were highlighting blues. I feel like blues kind of, got swept under the rug, like, historically. Like, you entered, cats got right into, like, the funk era, or whatever, the rock and funk and all of that. I remember, like, Johnny Guitar Watson saying, like, oh, he started as a blues musician, but he, pivoted to, like, the 70s stuff that he was doing.
Yeah.
And I remember in interviews, he was like, oh, forget that blues. That's old. You know what I mean? Like, so, shout out to the blues. Definitely Howlin' Wolf. And, just, I play guitar, so I might listen to, like, Jeff Beck or something.
Guitar? Okay.
Yeah.
Like, who are your favorite guitarists?
For me, I mean,
Jeff Beck is ill, by the way.
No, for sure. Yeah. Hendrix, of course. But for me, it's not always about, like, who's the most proficient. It's kind of like lyricism in a way. It's funny. But like, I like Frank Zappa the most. You know what I mean? I feel like he might not have been technically, like, he wasn't Eddie Van Halen, or he wasn't Steve Vai, who he employed. But his ideas and the way he composed, it was like a composer just playing the instrument. You know what I mean? It's not just scales and all this shredded shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I'm more into that.
I always thought Prince was underrated.
Prince,
You saw, you ever see that clip with him playing My Guitar Gently Weeps with Tom Petty?
I did see that, yeah.
You know the backstory?
Nah.
So Rolling Stone had put out a list, I think it was the top 100 guitarists in the world, right? They did not include Prince. So Jan Wenner, the publisher of Rolling Stone, is sitting in the front rows during that performance. So Prince just goes absolutely berserk and then just throws his guitar up in the air.
You see, it's funny though. It's like you hear about these stories, but like I never heard about him being excluded from that list.
Yeah.
But in that moment, he was affected by it. Like that was a misconception. Like he had to clear that up.
Yeah.
And I feel like that applies to, what I'm going through, what a lot of artists are going through.
Yeah.
And I think Prince is dope, man. Yeah. I think his whole vision for like how he presented his music and the arrangements, all of that. You know what I mean? So I don't view him as just like a guitarist.
Yeah.
But he got busy too.
So speaking of the Grammys, on Confetti you say, catch me at the Grammys, killing a medley. Yeah. And then on No More, you say, everybody wants to win an award, right? You lament that. So there's always been a conflict in hip-hop about the Grammys, even going back to Jazzy Jeff and Fresh Prince boycotting the first Grammy. Everyone knows Flavor Flav said, who gives a fuck about a goddamn Grammy, so
amazing.
Where do you stand with it?
You know what? I think it's a little disgusting to be like clamoring for validation. You know what I mean? Like in that way. So I have fun with the idea. Like I just do me and I'm like, yo, if we could make it happen and win something, that's great. But that's not gonna affect my mood.
Yep.
And I just wanna see like when you win a Grammy, does the price go up? I want to see my bank statements. Right. Like, what does it look like? How does it change? Like, if I put Grammy Award winning in my bio, what, like, people gonna treat me different now? Is he more valid now? Like, so I think it's corny, you know what I'm saying, to strive and seek that. But at the same time, it's like, let's just get them to, to learn more like about like how this stuff really works, you know what I'm saying? But I feel like the artists who they pander and they're like really like, oh, I gotta get this. I think that's a little corny. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think it was dope when Killer Mike won. I like it when somebody like outside of like the usual suspects like can come through. But I do think there's a lot of smoke and mirrors, and that's just natural. I mean, it's a music business. Emphasis on business.
It's crazy the disparity, right? Because there are obviously some artists who have a lot of Grammys who are great, right? Jay, Ye, Kendrick, But then you look at like a Rakim. Not only does he not have an award, he's never been nominated for an award, right? Think about how crazy that is.
But that doesn't mean shit to me. Rakim is in the like. You don't get Nas, you don't get Jay.
Nobody. Yeah.
So I remember when Jay won like the Songwriters Award and he shouted out the. Or when Kendrick got the Pulitzer Award, I felt like part of me was like, damn, why didn't Rakim get that? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But at the same, it's still a win. Yeah. Kendrick is of that lineage. Yeah. But that's a very valid point.
Proceeds to Rakim. Yeah.
Yeah, Rakim is like, man, I remember buying Paid in Full on CD in like 2012, and my man was looking at me like, why did you get this shit? But to me, that was like, Kobe watching Magic Johnson take, or like, you know what I mean, like Curry watching Bird, or whoever, you know what I'm saying, or Isaiah Thomas. Like this is like a Bible. Like we study this, you know what I mean. Like you should know. Like I don't care what year you were born, you should know that 7 MCs put them in a line. Like if you claim to be a lyricist, if you rap in a certain way, I never rapped this way because it was the aesthetic. This is how I started rhyming. Like. And I had to do the research and realize Rakim, KRS, G-Rap, these were the forefathers of what I'm doing. So it's like, come on, man.
Not everybody's like that, though, man. You went back to an album that was 25 years before that, right?
Yes.
And I hear it in your references, you know, from, you know, sports to even your cadence. Like, what makes you such an old soul?
My mom had me when she was 35. You know, Pops was like 40. He's a few years older. So yeah, I think, man, I was born in another country, man. Like I remember Soviet Union until I was 4. So
wow, that's crazy.
So I think
you remember it? Yeah,
definitely. I mean, for that age, like for everything that I can remember, but I remember, you know, my mom went to Poland one time, like, and then came back with a bunch of Adidas, and you know, we would go to these markets, like big flea markets outside, like my grandmother and my mom's, and it was just different, and just the stories, like people would wait online for bread. Yeah. So I remember my dad told me a story when we first moved here. First time he was in the supermarket, he got like nauseous because there was so many options. It wasn't like that.
That's crazy. Yeah.
So up until the age of 4, I do have like, you know, some memories for sure.
Wow. Yeah, so another line you got is fans like to take it too far, call every brother a legend no matter who they are.
Yeah, pretty much.
So do you think we glorify the past more in hip hop than in other genres?
The past? I don't know. I think people just are obsessed with nostalgia. You know what I'm saying? You see people trying to recreate, you know, covers and chicks trying to squat like Lil' Kim, and I feel like if everybody's being nostalgic, we're not gonna have. There's nothing gonna be from that era that's original because it'll be just looking backwards. So we'll have like a whole era that nothing happened. You just doing what, like imagine Rakim was being nostalgic to
Melly Mel.
Not even Melly Mel. Say it was like the 70s or something. He was doing, you know, if he was like, if he was like trying to be Sly Stone or some shit. Like, no, they created a time. You know what I mean? So to the young people, create what is right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's cool to take inspiration, but all that dressing up like the 90s and like camouflage, I get that, but it's like, what are we doing right now? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, you're definitely informed by it, but not trying to replicate it, so I can see that.
And what I mean by that line is like, fans are so easily impressed. Like, that, you know, somebody could just come out and rhyme a little well, and he's a GOAT, he's a legend. Like, this motherfucker, like, no, he's not. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? He's just, he's a clown. You know what I mean? So, but they'll take bits and they'll take actual. I got people stealing my shit like verbatim. They'll take lyrics, but I'm not super well known. They can't point to that like, oh, you got that from Droog. But they'll take a little bit of Droog. They'll take some Rock Marcy and a little West Side Gun and bottle it up and sell it to like 200 European weirdos, and then they're like, oh, that's a legend. I got his vinyl with the Obi strip. But that's what I mean. It's like anybody could just come in, and then you don't have that, like, I don't mean gatekeeping in like you can't, but there was like a certain gatekeeping with like, quality you know, control. The Matty C's and the Scott Free and the Rob Reef, and, you know them dudes, like Stretch Arms, they weren't just letting anybody past that, you know, you had to be valid.
And it was even more than just people gatekeepers, right? You have monetary gatekeepers. Like, it costs you, you know, $1 to like,
come on, man, and
for the studio, for everything, right?
All of that. And so, I mean, you know, you don't have the Chris Lighties, and these dudes were like they would filter out the shit that wasn't official. Like, you could tell, you meet somebody, or like this ain't you, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like, I feel like that's lacking.
So we're living in a world now where there's something like 100,000 tracks uploaded to Spotify every day.
It's probably more.
That's going to get exponentially bigger with AI and all the slop there. So how do you cut through the clutter in a world where everybody's trying to be a star?
I think you just do you. It's that simple. I think you can't concern yourself too much with, I think this is going to work and, let me do this. But I think the more honest you are, I think that will go farther. That will resonate with people. I feel like that's why Kendrick got where he is, because he wanted to connect with the listener. You know what I'm saying? That was more important than, I'm trying to succeed. That's a different mindset. Like, I'm trying to get this guy on the track. I'm sure there was a bit of that too. There's strategy and a lot of warfare, but he wanted to connect with people. He wanted what he said to be heard and for people to, understand that this is genuine.
Yeah.
When it's genuine, you can't fake it.
Yeah.
So I think, and some people, they don't like that. That's a little too much. It's like holding up the mirror to somebody's face. Like they want to be in a state of delusion. You know what I'm saying? They like, nah, this is too, I can't, like, I'm confronting too much by listening to this. But I think that is what will strike the hardest. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it was somebody big, man. I'm trying to think. It's just like Oprah or something like that. But they said people know the truth when they hear it. When you hear it, it just resonates with you on a different level.
No, and you can tell when you meet somebody. You know what I mean? Like you can tell who's faking it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, is this the cadence that you talk to your mother in on Thanksgiving? Like, take that accent off. Like, I don't want to. All this like dudes doing their little fucking like hip hop cadences. Like, get that shit out of here. Like at the end of the day, like, who are you? You know? And I remember when I met Sean Price, he was like, as soon as I met you just know who's authentic. Yeah. And I think that you can't really put a price on. That's something like that. It got to be in you. You know what I mean? Like, and people try to approximate it. Like, if you spend a lot of hours being fake, probably gonna get good. You trick a lot of people. Yeah. So my job is just to be honest with myself first, and when I get in front of this microphone, like, people are gonna feel that. You know what I mean? It's real. Like, I got a song called 500. I'm talking about like being a ninth grade drop. Like, I dropped down in ninth grade. So it's like anything is possible. I'm here making a living off words.
Anything is possible. Yeah. So
my words.
I think my favorite joint on the album, this was an instant add to our playlist. We only put stuff we really love on the playlist, was Vanilla Fudge. Okay. You know what I mean? And on that you say, "You lucky enough to have my motherfucking disdain," right? Yes. That was one of the hardest bars in the project. So I read some Aristotle back in the day, right? And a lot of people think that the opposite of love is hate, but he said it's disdain. Or indifferent. He said it's indifference, right? When you don't give anybody any energy, so how do you avoid giving energy to your haters?
That's New Year's resolution. I feel like I can't really give it any energy, It's out of my control. How you feel about me is your business, you know what I mean? And usually it's one-sided. Yeah. People have these emotional, parasocial relationships with artists who they never met. You just hearing stuff third hand. And people think, they're in the business somehow because we all got social media or like we're peers or something. We're not peers. Right. So you might have heard something from this, I heard he's an asshole. Or, he didn't pay so-and-so. Like, yeah, I did. Like, but I'm not going to be like, that's too much, energy. So, like, y'all can have, like, you're lucky enough to have my disdain before 2026. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not good.
Giving that.
Nah, man, we ain't doing that because it's like, even the fake dudes, I can't give them too much energy. It's just like, they are who they are. You know what I mean? Or like, say you really making, you like, I'm on the charts and I bought my own island. You still gonna have mosquitoes. So I'm living my dream life with my queen on the island, and it's mosquitoes. So I'm just be swatting all day. Like, this is like, you know what I'm saying? So haters are mosquitoes, you know what I'm saying? Or, detractors, whatever you want to call them.
So you also said one of the few artists that can flow with Black Thought and then go inspire with Kiss.
Yeah.
So Reek Yacht was one of my favorite records last year. I mean, and I think I was lucky enough to see the first time y'all ever performed it too. You know, at the Mad Lib joint.
Yeah.
You know, so as a kid who grew up like idolizing these dudes, how does it feel to know that these guys now respect you as an MC?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like with Prodigy and Sean P and a lot of those dudes, like that was the external validation I might have needed at that time. Like it lets me know like I'm doing the right thing. Right now, like it's probably not the same feeling, but it's always great to like look to your and you see fucking Black Thought, one of the greatest MCs of all time, and y'all are sharing a track or a stage,
bar for bar, yeah,
and not getting blown out the water. I feel like I had the better verse. So that's my man, but
there you go.
So all these people naysayers like, can y'all do that? Can you stand on stage with Tariq and not look stupid?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I let the work speak for itself, and the people, I stand next to. Like nobody paid him to do that. You know what I'm saying? He did that of his own volition. So yeah.
No, that's dope though. That because not everyone gets these cats respect. So
yeah,
that's
and
an accomplishment.
Somebody who's been around 30 plus, like if I was him, I probably wouldn't want to hear another round from somebody else. I'm just like, as many rounds as he writes.
Yeah.
Like I remember being around him one time, like he had his phone out, he put like an idea down. I was like, this dude was working. Like we had a function, and he's putting like a word somebody said, he put it down. He's like, okay.
Yeah, I went to his spot a year ago, and he played like 8 different projects for me. He's just sitting on just volumes and volumes of heat. It's crazy. Yeah.
Now, I had the listening party for Movie, and it was Thought and Monch. And I remember this journalist, he was like, it was only like 15, 20 people there, but 2 of the people were 2 of the greatest lyricists of all time. I got to throw Pharoahe in that list. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I'm going to take somebody out. We're going to take Gun or Rock out.
Okay.
Pharoahe Monch, amazing.
Yeah.
Like, as far as the pen game, delivery, rhythm, syncopation, it's like a jazz musician. So my exposure to Monch was just his hook on the Styles P, My Life. I didn't know, and Simon Says.
Yeah.
But then you do the research and like organized confusion and the way dudes are rhyming in the early 90s, like to rhyme like that it's incredible.
Yeah.
So
with asthma.
Yeah. And he's up there. We had like a birthday dinner. It was me, Madlib, Edan, Pharoahe Monch, Wild Child. Madlib was like, yo, we not here without Pharoahe. You know what I'm saying? Like certain cats, like,
wow.
And that's I appreciate that because everybody's not gonna have like, everybody's not gonna be Tribe or they were different, but they were still raw. And I feel like that, carved the path for even like a Doom or like whoever.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Myself. So shout out to Monch.
All right, so let's take a break from the projects for a minute, man. I like to do a segment where we honor the foundation of hip hop, really look at the elements, right?
Nice.
So what's your earliest memory, earliest hip hop memory?
Musically or like culture-wise?
Just culture-wise, what you experienced that like left an impression and made you think, oh man, I love this.
I think it was in the air, like in the night, like I'll be going to like, pick up. I'll be going with my mother to pick up my sister from school. You see how people are dressing. They got the big, bubble coats, and you hear it, the music, you see the graffiti, but it's not explained to you like oh, this is what it is. But it's just everywhere. Like you see it. You know what I mean? Like I'm a kid sitting on the train. It might be a tag like behind my head. You know what I'm saying? Like, but for me, I think there's so many. It's just living in it for so long. It's like before like you even thought of like, oh, this could be a living. Like it was just like you go to people be like, yo, you write the graffiti? Like I'm like, right? What do you mean? Like words on paper? No, they were like writing is like, yo, we're gonna go tag up and do all this. So like,
did you?
I wasn't really good with that, but I did,
Okay.
you know, a little amateur, like, but I remember like kids in school, like that's what they did. But they were like, okay, you rhyme, like you could battle this guy. Or
Yeah.
I think it was just, I think it's just rhyming for me. I feel like that's when I got really like into it.
Yeah.
Cause it's like, yo, this is, okay. And this is like not just doing it in your room. This is doing it in front of people, staircases, you know, schoolyard. So it's like once that got real, it's like, okay, the journey has begun. You know what I mean?
Remember anything from the first verse you ever wrote?
The first verse I ever wrote, it was like real fake intellectual, but I remember the feeling I had when I wrote it. I was like, I'm the greatest of all time.
Okay.
I really was that like delusional. Like,
Yeah.
yo, this is the greatest thing up. But I was so high off the creative high. It was like, oh shit, like, even if that rhyme wasn't, it was the start, it sparked something.
Right.
So, to have that, and then to, you know, for that, some time to go by, I'm like, think, okay, maybe that wasn't that good.
Yeah.
But the seed was planted.
Yeah.
And then I remember this kid, Randy, was rhyming in the hall. And I was like, yo, you want to battle? He said, okay, there's one more period before lunch. You write your verse, I'll write mine. And that's where it started. Like, I wrote the diss. That whole period, I'm going to finish this. I finished, he's done. And if that didn't happen, I might not be sitting here. I might not have a career, you know what I'm saying?
That was your first battle?
Yeah.
And you won it?
Of course. Yeah. No, I went undefeated for like, because this is how I went. That was the first one. Somebody else stepped up, got them out the way. It just kept happening. It was like 16-0 or something.
Got you. Okay.
Or 20, probably more. But shout out to Randolph, man.
Word.
Yeah.
Everybody must follow, man.
One day I was like bored and shit. I Googled him. Had to pull up like,
Is he still rapping?
nah, he was on like Facebook. He got
you
kids.
ended his career, man. That's
he got
crazy.
kids,
Yeah.
like the tattoo artist.
I could have been sitting here with Randy, man. Yeah. So I want to present you with our Elements of Hip Hop collection, man.
Let's do it.
Yeah. We created a line to honor the elements,
Okay.
MCing, DJing,
Nice.
breaking, and graffiti.
Yeah,
I put you on like a 2X.
Nice. Yeah, I can make that work.
Not, I can get you the 3, but like, you know.
Yeah, man, that's the thing. It's like MCing, like that's the path that chose me, or like I would say I chose it, but it was just like you see how it happened. It was like some spur of the moment. Like I don't know, like where it would take me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think graffiti, it's just, you know, graffiti is that's really for the love. Like it's just you putting stuff up that only other writers can see. You know what I mean? It's like a very small community. So and DJing, man, we can't do it without the music. So.
Absolutely.
Slaying poetry out there.
Yeah, man. All right, so you ready to get into YOD Serling?
Let's do it.
So, first of all, I love the name, man. I was a big Twilight Zone fan, you know. But every song on YOD Serling tells a different story. Why did you decide to do an all-storyteller project?
You know, I wanted to do like a full album like that, but I think that would almost be overkill. It's like, I don't know if I would want to listen to 10, 12 stories. You know what I'm saying? But I think in 5 tracks, it's more digestible. There's a lot of like songs with 3 verses. So I felt like, you know, this might be the time to like roll that out. But I've been flirting with that idea for a while, the YOD Serling.
And how do you approach writing a story versus a regular verse?
For me, the story, it's a little more work. You know what I mean? Like you kind of, it's like writing like a short story, you know, like a novel or something, like in a shorter form, but you have to make it work with the beat. So I got to credit, you know, guys like Slick Rick, obviously, Nas. Like I remember hearing Rewind for the first time, and like my mind was blown. I was like, Biggie, like for me, like when I fell in love with hip hop, storytelling was like something cats kept in their arsenal. Everybody couldn't do it. So, you know, I appreciate that. I'm not just one of these guys who just got raps one way all the time. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing wrong with that too. Like if that's what you do you, if it's working for you.
What would you say are your 5 favorite hip hop stories?
Children's Story, of course. Give Me the Loot. When I heard that shit, I couldn't believe. I thought it was two different dudes rhyming.
Me too.
Yeah. And I was like 12 years old, so I was like, yo, it's like seeing a movie in your head. So that definitely, I think Rewind is wild. What else? Shit. Who else got stories?
I used to love her.
Yeah, you think I don't consider that a story? No.
You don't think so?
Nah, I think Moment I Feared, like, but that, children's stories like the apex.
Children's stories, yeah.
But throw some storytelling records in. I feel like.
Shoot, man, Duckworth I think is a crazy story.
Okay.
What else? Man, so many.
Story to Tell.
Story to Tell is a.
I feel like
one.
I feel like Big got it, man.
Yeah,
I feel like Big is the king
Big
of
got
this.
So many.
I feel like he took it somewhere else.
Yeah.
I feel like it's like Slick Rick, like
Love's Gonna Get You, 6 a.m. There's a bunch of joints.
Yeah.
Mahogany.
Man, listen. 13.
Yeah.
Yo, it's ridiculous. But it's just like somebody being creative. So,
Yeah.
But it's like, I think that's a lost art. So I wanted to do that for, some people out there want to hear a story rhyme.
Yeah.
And I feel like there's nothing wrong with that. But what other joints Kendrick got that storytelling?
I mean, Duckworth is the one.
Yeah.
I think is
that the one
yeah.
where a dude almost killed his dad?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
That's the one. Yeah.
I'll throw that in there.
Yeah,
But it's like,
okay.
it's really a lot. I like, I did a song called Gotta Kill a Cop. I feel like on PAX, that was a little slept on, but
Yeah.
I'm sure if it had a video and there was like this uproar about it, more people would know it, but I always been on that.
Yeah. So you mentioned that Edan was at your birthday dinner. I know he produced 3 of the 5 joints on this. He's another dude who's been enigmatic, right? So,
for sure.
And I know y'all have worked, a bunch in the past. Can you talk about your creative partnership with him?
That's my DJ, when we perform live. So I think it's another person that I came in contact with that was like-minded as far as art. We got a lot of artists in common that we listen to. You know what I mean? When we sound check at before shows, they ask us what to play on the speakers. Bo Diddley, you know what I'm saying? We listen to Bo Diddley.
That's crazy. Okay.
So I don't know how many other DJs I could have that. You know what I mean? Somebody that I work closely with. So there's an understanding that. Oh, when we were on the road, we had a doo-wop battle, like doo-wop music. Like who you play one, I play. You play like the Flamingos. I come with.
That's crazy.
You know what I'm saying? So just having that, and I don't remember how I first heard it, but Sacha appreciated him a lot. He was like, yo, this dude, he rhymes and could cut at the same time. But he dropped this one out. I think one album, he kind of fell back. He doesn't really care about like his career. You know what I'm saying? He's not one of those super ambitious cats, but he's still talented. You know what I mean? So he's ill. And like just having that the musical, it's like a kindred spirit as far as music. You know what I'm saying?
So on Suspects, you tell the story of a robbery gone bad, right? And that's a story that we've seen a lot, from Ice-T's Peel Your Cap Back to Boys in the Hood to, current day. And it's often the case that what you see on the news is not the full story. So was that inspired by something? Like what motivated you to write that?
You know what? Those vocal samples were in place already.
Okay.
So that kind of dictated what I was writing about.
Okay.
So I had to listen to what old girl was singing about and kind of figure out, what story I could tell. So the first verse, I kind of painted that picture like the night before Christmas, dude's about to go in the store and stick it up or whatever. Then she started singing and all this action stuff happens. I was a little stuck on it. I remember when I was writing it, like the beginning of the second verse, I was trying to figure out how am I going to play this? And then once I got to the third, like there was still like, some action going on, like dude getting off the fire escape. But I wanted to put that spin on it because nobody really always sees like the perspective of somebody who's like in need and like they kind of got to provide in a certain way. They don't know the backstory. So I wanted to put that spin on it and not just leave it on like, oh, it's regular, robbery. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So Pit Stop, we get a little insight into your driving, right? Like, and I gotta ask on a scale of 1 to 10, with 1 being Phil Jackson, the Zen Master, and 10 being the Incredible Hulk. Where are you on the rage road meter?
I think I'm somewhere in the middle, man. I have my moments, but for the most part, I just like, if I'm not in a hurry, you know what I mean? Like, if I really gotta go somewhere, I'm like, yo, what the fuck are you doing? Like, I gotta see who's in the car and shit, and like, But for the most part, though, I try to be patient. You know what I mean? Because like, you don't want to hurt your fellow neighbor person. Like, it's tough out here. Like, so little kids, like, I don't want to, be out here driving reckless. I know some reckless drivers. Yeah, you know what I mean. And I've been in the other states. People drive different everywhere.
It was ill though, because we felt like we were in the car with you. So,
nah, for sure. I took that third verse out though. The third verse was like real personal, and like I really got into it. That was like, y'all got to throw Steady Mobbing in there for the storytelling.
Yeah, Steady Mobbing is crazy.
I wanted to just be like a bugged out version of that. You know what I'm saying? But even like in a palatable way, like Today Was a Good Day is like a good story. Like
that may be
But some people just shit on it because it's a hit. So I think
it's incredible.
But it's like,
it's incredible. Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Like, but I feel like that's what I was influenced by. I was listening to a lot of early Ice Cube.
Okay.
Solo.
Okay. Yeah. That makes sense. Ghost Rider is a real ill flip on that concept. Do you believe in spirit guides?
Oh, I think so. Yeah, definitely. I believe it. I think it's not as simple like as the way I described it, but sometimes it might be. You know what I mean? Like we have people that we love or who loved us that passed, and I think they're guiding us.
Who are your spirit guides?
I think my grandmother. I think my entire ancestry. People that Sacha. ASAP Yams. People that Sean P. Like I feel like all them dudes, man. Like I might think I'm right in the wrong, but really it's Sean P. Like gave me the idea. Like I don't know, or Prodigy, you know what I mean? Like, so I think it's the people we came into contact with that had a profound impact on us.
Yeah. That's deep. That's deep. And so we texted about this song, Freakazoid.
Yes.
Obviously, there's a lot of abuse, that happens to women at the hands of men, right? But the point of this song is that it does sometimes go in reverse with, older women and younger men. So can you talk about what kind of inspired that?
Yeah, I mean, I like older women, but I wanted to tell the story of, sexual assault from the man perspective. I don't think I've heard that on the record. You know what I'm saying? I don't think people make assault records. You know what I mean? But I feel like it was an interesting story, and I had to consult, women in my life to be like, yo, like, how's it? Like, how do I freak this? Like, no pun intended. Like, it's tricky. Like, when I was writing, I was like, in the story, do I kill the chick who kidnapped me? Like, how does it, you know what I mean? Like, I watched Misery while I was writing, and I'm really trying to get into that headspace. But I just think the song still has some humor in it. You know what I mean? That's what I appreciate. It wasn't like the end. I like the ending. You know what I mean?
It's complicated, and it's probably true to life.
Yeah, for sure.
So you talk about Stockholm syndrome and all that. So
absolutely.
Yeah. All right, man. So as we wind down, a few more questions. What's something about making music that never gets easier, no matter how long you do it?
About making music?
Yeah, that never gets easier.
Recorded, man. Sometimes, like, because every song for me, like, it's not always like the same energy or the same tone or the same. So sometimes, man, I might think I'm going to get it in one take, but I'll be there for like an hour working on one verse, 2 hours. Or I'll go back the next day. So that vocal booth, it gets, you can get better at it, but like that, it can whip your ass on some days. It'll be like, man, you got to come back tomorrow, son. Everybody's not Jay-Z, but even Jay-Z, they say one take hold, but they won't tell you about him fucking rapping for eons and saying the same word 100 times.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I've heard like Oskino or somebody, there was an interview, they were like, yeah, he would say the same word like 100 times. And we'd be like, man, why is he doing that?
Yeah.
But everybody likes the cool story, like, oh, he just did it in one take and left. But
Yeah.
that's why he's Jay-Z, though.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And, you know, dudes are watching him like, why is he doing? He's showing you why he's doing. He's showing you why he's whole.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. Like, when you get those hours in and when you do those reps, I say it does get, you know, it's not as hard, as difficult as it was, but, you know, especially if somebody came up rhyming outside, like that doesn't always transfer to this, you know, as easy as people think. So for me, that keeps me sharp. It's like, man, I don't know if I'm gonna fall. Like, I want it to stay sharp. So it's like, you don't want to like get too rusty. You know what I mean?
Is there a moment in your career that felt small at the time that in hindsight was a real turning point?
I think that's the whole journey, though. Because it's like, you might think, oh, man, things are not going my way, but those strings are being pulled and, you know what I mean? Like, you getting that guidance, like, you don't even know. But I think people get caught up so much in their present moment and their situation and financial, they don't see the bigger picture. Like, you really blessed. So, I don't know, every year, I'm thinking like, damn, man, is this going to work? Like, I don't know if I'm going to have a career. Like, I'm in the booth. Like, if I don't get this verse, I might not be working in music. So it's like, I remember recording Transportation and doing songs like Cheese and Under the Train and Train Love. And I was like, man, I don't know if this is going to work. And I remember I was working with track masters, like Tone spotted me in the club. He's like, yo, you Droog? And like, we came out to work at their studio. And I don't think we made anything that saw the light of day, but at the same time, I was making records like Bangladesh and, you know, stuff for PAX, and Train Love's like my highest stream record on Spotify or whatever. So I was soaking up game, and I feel like, but at that time, I was like, I don't know if it's going to work. Like, you know, the major labels weren't calling anymore, so I'm like, we got to figure this thing out. But quality music has sustained me. So.
You mentioned life without music, or, you know, what would happen if you couldn't do it a bunch of times. So, you know, I want to end on this question. If you were to take the music out of it, no writing, no producing, no recording, what does a perfect day look like for you?
If I'm not working, I think working is the perfect day.
Working is, that's it?
Because if I'll probably be thinking about work.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'll probably be handling some business, you know, some Zoom calls.
Yeah.
You know, getting some deals done.
Yeah.
Registering my pub, you know, for these songs, you know, so I get some royalties. But a perfect day, I think, is just, you know, relaxing, not really stressing, not letting other people have my disdain, you know. I feel like it's meditating, spending time with loved ones, things of that nature.
That's crazy because there's this song, and I can't remember which one it is, but you talk about how when you're young, like if you're able to do that thing that you love when you're young, you know? Yeah,
that's Confetti. I said, if you could get paid for what you were doing when you were a child, like, I don't remember exactly. I know what you're talking about, though. But that's the sentiment, though. It's like, I started rhyming at 13.
Yeah.
I didn't get a rap check till 23, 24. So, you know, if you were dribbling a basketball at 13 and you in the NBA, you got to acknowledge how blessed you are. You know what I mean? Some people, they just want to get in the league, and that's it. That's enough. Yeah. But for others, it's a constant journey, you know, for greatness and to live up to, you know, what image you have for what it could be. So I feel like I could have worked harder at certain periods of my career. I feel like I could still do that. But I think the journey is the journey, and you got to just stay on it, and ain't no telling where you could go. You could be on the charts. You could be working at Burger King, or, you know, you never know. You can win a Pulitzer Prize. You could be at the Super Bowl. Like, you saw it. Like, if somebody told you, yo, this guy you interviewing is going to perform at the Super Bowl, What would you have said?
Yeah, I mean, the greatest I thought he was, that I did not imagine. So,
You probably would have been like, yo, maybe 8 bars like for like Maroon 5 or some shit. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Like, Imagine Dragons.
Yeah.
Or some shit.
Yo, Old Droog, anything
Yes,
is
sir.
possible. YOD Serling, much more to come. Thank you, bro.
Anything is possible, man.
Yeah.
You know, just put that work in, though.
Word. Thank you, bro.
I appreciate you, man.
No doubt.
My man.